This just got very interesting for Vancouver as NHL insider Elliotte Friedman reveals moves are coming to the Vancouver Canucks as Patrik Allvin continues to bolster the team heading into next season. But not only that, we get a huge update on an Abbotsford player as Elliotte Friedman reveals he is poised to join this roster to start this season. We're going to break down all the comments from Elliotte Friedman, including naming two players the Vancouver Canucks are shopping to get stronger at the center position. But not only that, we're going to break down this Abbotsford player, and this should have fans jumping for joy. We're going to break down all this and more later on this episode. Before we get into that, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to you guys. We're at 7,800 subscribers. We just finished our second season covering the Canucks, and we're not stopping. So if you want to join this Canucks Digest community, go down and hit that free subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date on everything to do around this team, and it helps us out a ton. Once again, thank you so much, Canucks fans. This has been fun, and we're so happy you guys are enjoying this. But with that, let's just hop straight into this, where we did get an update on Arshdeep Bains, and we've seen Elliotte Friedman speaking on 32 Thoughts, which will be linked down below. He said, don't count out the Canucks making more moves, so Bains has a better chance to make the roster. Now, initially looking at this, a lot of people might seem a little shocked. Bains was phenomenal during this Abbotsford run, so was the entire team, winning their first Calder Cup. But with the Canucks, we know how much passion they have towards Bains. We've seen the great comments. He scored with the Vancouver Canucks, but it does get interesting where there is a bit of a logjam on the current roster. I mean, looking into the bottom six right now, Dakota Joshua, Teddy Bluger, Niels Höglander, Drew O'Connor, Aatu Räty, and Kiefer Sherwood. And this doesn't even include Arshdeep Bains or Jonathan Lekkerimäki within this lineup. We've seen them bolster up this team by re-signing Brock Boeser, bringing Evander Kane into this roster. This Canucks top six does need work, and we're going to touch on these two players the Canucks are looking at moving. But as of right now, it does seem like all signs are pointing to the Canucks wanting to start Bains within this team. Now with Bains, we've seen him already play with the Vancouver Canucks over the past 2 seasons, scoring his first NHL goal in 13 games, playing just under 10 minutes time on ice. The big thing with Bains, going back to the AHL, he absolutely dominated, 43 points in 50 regular season games, and then a point per game player going into the playoffs, a free agency signing or an undrafted signing by the Vancouver Canucks from Surrey, BC, only 24 years old. Bains would be a huge part of this team. We've already seen him play with this team, scoring the goal, but I do think him fitting into this roster, and the contract's very interesting as well, does point to him being the perfect fit into this bottom six. With Bains, we've seen the extension that he just recently signed going into July 1st, where he did sign a 2-year contract with the Canucks, $775K in the first year on a 2-way deal, going into the second year where we can see a full 1-way deal. So he would be set to join the Canucks at least in 2 years. But it does get very interesting where this contract, we know Allvin and Rutherford love to sign their young guys to these 2-year deals. We've seen it with Höglander before signing his extension. We've seen it with Podkolzin before being traded to the Edmonton Oilers, which we're not going to touch on. We're seeing it with Aatu Räty. We're seeing it with Bains. There's so many of these guys getting this, but it does seem like Abbotsford is really starting to build these players into exactly what Allvin and co wants within the roster. I mean, we've seen the comments from Allvin going into Abbotsford's final and winning the Calder Cup. He was very happy on how these players were playing. He loves the thought of these guys joining the roster. So it does seem interesting that Aatu Räty, Arshdeep Bains, Jonathan Lekkerimäki, Max Sasson, these guys have a very good chance to make the opening night roster, with all of it pointing towards Bains almost being a guarantee. We know Aatu Räty is set to join this team, most likely on the 4th or 3rd line, and it does get very interesting talking about Aatu Räty, because this just goes straight into Elliotte Friedman saying there has been reports on Bluger and Joshua. I don't think the Canucks are done tankering yet. So we already seen the reports coming earlier this week from Rick Dhaliwal, where he said they're trying to move guys right now. Joshua and Bluger, can they move on and both these guys to free up cap space to get or send them in now? I'm hearing the Canucks are souring on Dakota Joshua from odd reason. His name's out there. So it does seem like multiple reports are coming out from Rick Dhaliwal. We're seeing it from Elliotte Friedman that the Canucks are actively looking to move on from bottom six players to find a center to join this roster and become that second line center. Now, following it up, we know how good Teddy Blueger and Dakota Joshua are. I don't want either of these players' moves. Going into Teddy Blueger first, this past season with the Canucks, 26 points, 8 goals. Everyone had a bit of a down year, so let's not touch on that too much. Very productive on the faceoffs, 50.2%. We see throws hits, he blocks shots. Teddy Blueger is your perfect third line center within any organization, but it does seem with Aatu Räty coming up, slowly pushing the Canucks into the position to get him more ice time after almost putting up 30 points if he played the full 82 games last year. It does seem like Blueger is starting to become a trade piece for the Canucks, and I think they're going to actively, and not even just me thinking, Elliotte Friedman and Rick Dhaliwal are going to actively look to move on from guys with bigger contracts in this bottom six to free up cap space, because right now Teddy Blueger 1.8 million, Dakota Joshua 3.2 million. It does seem like the Canucks will have to move on from one or two of these players to make it even deeper within this team. And going into Dakota Joshua, once again, the Canucks are moving out someone that scored 18 goals just 2 seasons ago last season, having a down year, 14 points. During his 57 game, we know he missed the start of the season, still throws hits like a freight train, 193 hits last year, 29 block shots, playing just under 13 minutes, the lowest ice time over the past 2 seasons. But it does seem that reports are showing that there's some reason something is souring, maybe signing this contract. We've seen the report saying the Canucks were worried they were going to lose him, so he signed for this contract under a panic option, and I hope the Canucks stop with the panic deals. Not that this is a bad deal, but at the moment, the Canucks need to clear up room to make this deeper. And we're going to look at the lineup one more time with this available cap space, but right now, going into today, Sunday, we know the Canucks have just under 800,000 in cap space. Now, moving a couple players from their active roster into Abbotsford to start the year will clear up a bit of room. You could probably wiggle yourself into 1.5 million. But the big thing is, if the Canucks want to find a second line center, there is no second line center. There's probably not even a third line center in the league. I mean, Aatu Räty, that is currently making under this or close to this, and they're going to have to move out bodies to open up this space. And once again, going into this, if you're spending this much into your bottom six, Dakota Joshua 3.2, Drew O'Connor 2.5, Teddy Blueger 1.8, Niels Höglander 3, Kiefer Sherwood, where an extension seems likely, 1.5, and then Aatu Räty at 775k, you're going to have to move this out if you want to move Filip Hronek down in this lineup. But I mean, Canucks fans, the biggest thing is who within this team, in this bottom six, would you move on from? Are you fine with Filip Hronek? We've seen the comments from Allvin. We've seen the comments from Adam Foote. They feel really comfortable going in with Elias Pettersson and Filip Hronek, but it does seem like they want to make room for Abbotsford players to come up, but they still also want to make room so they can go out and actively look at more trade options to make this team deeper at the center position. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the comments? Go down and leave that in the comments down below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Once again, Canucks fans, thank you so much for watching this, supporting us, enjoying this. If you want us to cover anything, a prospect, rumors, anything at all, if you want a live stream, go let us know down in the comments, because we will be starting those very soon. But I've been your host, Mark Pye. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Take care. Enjoy the summer. The weather's been awesome in Newfoundland. I'm not in Vancouver. Coming soon next year, though, so watch out for that. But I've been your host, Mark Pye, and take care.